Sharief Ishaq, WDSU, our guest each and every Tuesday at 2:30. Sharief, do you wish you were in London?
No.
Is that because the Saints aren't very good right now, or because you don't care about flying across the world?
I don't like. First of all, I hate flying. Second of all, I'm not going to a place where it's cold and it's gray and it's raining. I don't really do well with all those things combined.
All right. Well, New Orleans, it's hot and raining in the summer, but I think you'll be all right. I don't need to ask you how the Saints' offense is because it's not very good. What's the biggest reason why?
Well, I mean, I just think it comes down to it. It's simple. Jameis Winston's just not making good decisions. He's pressing, forcing a lot of passes. Sunday's game, you saw some of the frustration of that offense. He's just not looking through his reads. I mean, he's missing a lot of guys that are wide open. Even when he's throwing the ball, he's missing them wide open. There was that one play where he threw the Jarvis Landry over the middle when he had Troutman wide open too underneath. That would have gotten an easy first down, and he forced one in the middle of the field. I mean, it makes a good throw and Jarvis catches it, but sometimes, like I said last week, you take what they give you. And they gave him that first down and just didn't see Troutman. And that happens a lot throughout the entire game. And I understand, look, he's hurt. He has the back issue, the ankle. He doesn't want to, make that an excuse. And I get it. He doesn't want to use any excuses. But plain and simple, it comes down to decision-making. If you're going to make poor decisions, you are just absolutely going to have horrendous offensive games.
Do you think he's, for lack of a better term, scared to throw interceptions because everyone says, "Oh, he threw 30 interceptions," so he's tentative to throw the football?
That's another one he doesn't like to talk about or want to use as a reason why the offense is sputtering. But let's be honest, when you have a season like that, it's in the back of your mind, just like the injuries in the back of your mind. You don't want to get hurt. You don't want to let your team down by throwing some poor passes. And you saw it in that Buccaneers game, and mostly because they were playing from behind, because the offense sputtered to start the game, just like in Carolina. Now, the interception in Carolina, he threw two, I think, at the end of the game. I really don't count, but that was a deflected pass. But, yeah, I just think he might be thinking about those days in Tampa when he threw 30 picks. He doesn't want to do it again because I think he's waiting for people to tee off on it. Like, oh, I told you Jameis would throw 30 interceptions whenever he was healthy and ready to play as a starting quarterback. That's in the back of someone's mind. But when it comes down to it, everything isn't working. Everything isn't working. The offensive line really isn't blocking that well. When they get into cover zero and an all-out blitz, it looks like no one knows what they're doing. In an offense like that, cover zero, all-out blitz, you've got to get rid of the ball quickly. That's why Pete Carmichael draws up the plays for situations like that. And that's on him to get rid of it too, plus the offensive line to do better.
When you look at, I'll give you a scale here. Out of scale of 0 to 10, how frustrated do you think this Saints defense is when they're playing lights out football week in and week out and their offense really isn't backing them in some of these really big-time football games?
What they should say is about an 8 or 9. What they do say is that it's on them too, because quite honestly, they're not creating any turnovers. How about that? That's the biggest shocker, that they could not force a single turnover against the worst coach team and probably one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL. I've got to be honest with you. Baker Mayfield came to Carolina as the quarterback who has thrown the most interceptions since he's entered the league. You could not force one turnover against him. I mean, seriously, you could not do anything. That is just, it's unacceptable, inexcusable. I mean, you've got to find a way to start forcing more turnovers. You had that fumble against Tampa. That was a botched snap by Tom Brady. And the 2 fumbles in the game against the Falcons. That really doesn't, that's not enough. And it really isn't enough. I know we keep talking about the pressures and the sack numbers, but the turnovers have to start, working with that defense. And, the frustrations to be on both sides. You should both be frustrated, not just the defense being frustrated with the offense. The defense should certainly be frustrated. And Cam Jordan is frustrated. They're not getting it done.
Yeah, that was my next question. You talk to him a couple times a week. How's the demeanor of this team?
It's, I think they're still patient and they got 14 more games. And, the fan base, understand the fan base. If you saw the potential there, you wouldn't be as frustrated the way things are going. But it just continues to look like it is going down this terrible slope right now. You just see no glimmer of hope whatsoever. Like I'd be fine with it if you saw some consistency on offense, but you saw one good quarter in 3 games, and that isn't like sufficient. That does not cut it. And Cam, he's a savvy veteran. He may not ever show it. He may, he's quirky and funny, goofy with us in front of the camera, but you can kind of see a little bit of frustration and then aggravation that they're not winning and playing consistently good football. I mean, I would be upset if I played 1 game out of 17 games that poorly. They're playing, we're talking about 11 of 12 quarters. 11 of 12 quarters of bad football offensively. I'm not going to put all of it squarely on the defense because whenever your offense doesn't do anything, you're going to eventually get tired and give up a missed arm tackle type of touchdown like they did to Laviska Shenault in that game.
Obviously, to me, looking at this year and looking at last year, I thought Sean Payton really got the best version of Jameis Winston. Do you think that's something that's being overlooked going into this season with Carmichael running the show?
Yes, I would agree a little bit there. He did get a lot out of Jameis Winston. And think about it, a team that did not have Michael Thomas, Jarvis Landry, and Chris Olave on it. We're talking about, Marquez Callaway, Traquan Smith, and Deontay Hardy were playing receiver last year. And Alvin Kamara was playing, which is the biggest surprise. And some of it's going to come down to the Carmichael's play calling. Yes, but this is the same offense they created for Drew Brees. It was hey, make good decisions, make quick decisions. If you have time and someone down the field, you launch the ball and make a good throw. It's as plain and simple as that. Maybe they need to adjust something offensively to better help out Jameis Winston and that offensive line. Something has to change. Something's going to have to give because if it continues one more week, they may make a move. They may go to
the next question. You said something's got to happen. Are you on the Dalton train yet? Red Rifle.
I'm just not sure how much better it will be, but you never know. When we're at the point where Cooper Rush is playing better quarterback than a lot of quarterbacks in the league, then you're starting to question what is going on. Is it really that bad? But I think if you see one more game, maybe 2 more, Andy Dalton could make his debut against his former team.
All right, give me some thoughts on the Vikings game as they head to London.
I mean, if you can't get to Kirk Cousins, I don't know. I just don't know. I mean, right now you're counting on the defense. If Will Lutz can't make kicks, I mean, they're really going to be in trouble. It's going to be essentially like you just saw this past Sunday in Carolina. They're going to bring the house. They're going to go cover 0. I mean, if they put it on tape, they cannot do anything when a team goes cover 0 on you. So just got to find a way. They got to find a way to run the ball consistently without running the ball. I mean, I thought it started off hot with Alvin Kamara with his first run. I was like, all right, he's back. And then, boom, he fumbles, and then everything goes backwards. And it's got to be more balanced. They can't really necessarily put it all on Jameis Winston to try beating the Minnesota Vikings. They're 2-0 overseas, but, man, the way it's been looking, I just don't know, man. It's hard to say they can win the game.
All right, Sharief, we appreciate your time. We'll talk to you next week. Maybe we'll be in a better mood next week. Maybe the Saints will play great on Sunday.
Hey, you know what? Today was the start of Pelicans training camp, so everything is great.
I saw you on ESPN a little earlier interviewing Zion. He was in good spirits?
Everyone's in good spirits. He and CJ doing interviews together. It's all good. Hopefully, that carries over and they start hot and finish hot.
Thanks so much for watching Hunt Hill on YouTube.
Now do us a favor. Hit the red subscribe button below and throw us a like. We'll see you next time.